What's up, guys? Carolynn Castillo here. So I was thinking about you guys as I was doing this, and I said, you know what? Let me record this because this can be a help for everybody. So as you know, I am born and raised in South Florida, sold real estate in South Florida. I know South Florida up, down, left, right. If you just give me an address, I can tell you if it's a good neighborhood, a bad neighborhood. I could probably tell you what the house is worth without even looking it up in the MLS. That's how well I know South Florida, okay? So, as most of you know as well, I moved to North Florida. So I'm actually doing business now in St. Augustine, Jacksonville, Ponte Vedra, okay? So this market, I'm brand new, okay? And I don't know my left from my right. I can't leave the house without my GPS. I don't even know what I would do without a GPS, okay? So it's interesting now because now when I'm getting listings over here, I'm really having to do the research and it takes me a lot longer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect because this is how investors, you guys can learn how to comp properties properly, okay? And then if you're a new agent, especially trying to, on our channel, we talk about being a listing agent. One of the best number one skills that you need to have as a listing agent is you need to be able to comp properties. You need to have the ability to say, this is what your house is worth. And it's a very, it's a very serious position, right? Because you don't want to, tell somebody that their house is worth something and it's not accurate, like what if you're underselling a house or you price it over and then the house sits on the market and doesn't go anywhere. So having the ability to comp properties is extremely powerful. And as an investor, you should just be working with somebody like me, a realtor like me, and you don't have to comp your properties because you just send it to me and I do the magic research and I tell you. But if you want to learn how to comp properties, this is going to be a good video for you. So I'm going to share my screen with you here, okay? And on my computer, and you're just going to do like a live situation. This is an actual house that I'm looking into, and they're going to be selling it. So I'm going to show you how I do it, okay? How I comp properties, okay? And over here, it's like I'm starting from scratch. So the first thing I do is I put in the address. So this is the address of this house. And I look it up on Google and I see where it is, okay? So here it is. I always do this, guys. This is so important, okay? So I see where it is. I get a kind of an idea, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Get an idea of where it is. Look, Jacksonville, ooh, okay? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I have a general idea of where it is, okay? Then I go to my MLS, which over here is totally different. Make sure you guys are seeing my MLS. Okay. So this is the MLS in Jacksonville. Okay. By the way, side note, the MLS in South Florida is 100 times better than the MLS in Jacksonville. But I'm learning, growing, and expanding my mind. So I have two MLSs. I have North Florida and South Florida, and I'm learning both systems, okay? So anyways, you go to, your search, okay? Now, again, this is Jacksonville MLS. It's really weird. But you go over here, and first of all, before I do any of this, because this, we're just, looking it up in general, right? Active listings. Typically, there'll be less dots on the screen if you're just looking for an active. Hold on, let me do like a brand new search. Okay, so you want to your number one thing first is you want to find where this house is. So I'm looking at Google, right? I'm looking at Google. Google is telling me, it's right here. I'm like really paranoid if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, that's Google, perfect. And then, so we're like, okay, it's right there. Here's a golf course. Here's a street, okay? And then, I want to make sure you guys are seeing my, yeah. So then I'm going here. I'm like, okay, here's the golf course. Here's that street. And I'm like, okay, perfect. This is the exact street, right? MacArthur Parkway. Okay. This is the exact street. Okay. Now, when you don't know an area, or if you're a new agent or you're an investor because you invest all over, right? You want to say, where are my comparable properties? Okay. So we'll go, this is, go into the MLS. So it looks like, to me, it looks like this, in my opinion, just from looking at this, and I'm going to say something, okay? You want to look for connecting streets, okay? So MacArthur Parkway goes down. It reaches Cabot. So this goes, there's a dead end here, right? Doesn't continue. Then it goes down. I can go left. You can get out on this road. So it looks like there's two entrances, one on this road, and then it looks like there's two entrances here. So both of these all link up the same. They go here, and then, hold on a second. And it looks like they come all the way down here, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a map around these, what we believe, as far as right now, we don't know, but we believe that all of this is one neighborhood, okay? So your first thing when you're comping a place is you only look immediately at the immediate neighborhood, okay? So if there's other houses around, yes, you want to look at that, but your first thing is you want to look just in that subdivision, just in that little pocket area, because an appraiser is always going to look right there. That's the first place the appraiser is going to go, is they're going to look 1 mile radius of your subject property. So that's what we have to do as well. So I want to know everything that has sold, that is active, that is pending, even the stuff that's expired or didn't sell. I want to know about it. What's been going on in this neighborhood the last 6 months, basically, okay? So as of right now, there's only one active, okay? So I'll take a look at that and see what it is. I want to make sure you guys are still seeing my screen. Yeah, you are. Okay, so this is something that you're going to notate, okay? So you're looking at this property, okay? Now, on Google, I don't know if you guys could see this very well. Okay. It doesn't look the same. You see this house? But look, you see right here? So these are things that you're looking for to say, is this the same property or not? So this is the subject property right here, but it looks like it's made up of a different kind of townhouses. So we're gonna have to look into this, okay? So this house here, let's go back to the details. We're looking at the visual. Does it look like it's the same neighborhood? Okay. And then what you're going to be looking at is you're looking at what is the subdivision. So this says Lexington Square. Another way that you can do it is that you look for the area. So like this says, like, you want to make sure that you're looking at comps are in the same little. In South Florida, we can look at the legal description, and the legal description will say, the beginning will say, what it is, but here, we could use different things. So this says Lexington Square, okay? So this is active on the market for 163, and I believe this comp is, I believe it's a 3-bedroom. Okay, so now we looked at the actives. There's only one. So now we're going to go to sold, pending, and contingent, okay? And then, we could do the last 6 months. That's fine. Okay, so now we have more. Now, the comp that I'm looking at is over here. So I'm hoping to see some that look like my house, okay? So let's see. The list. Keep checking to make sure you're seeing the same screen. Okay, so that's the one we saw, 163, 150, 153. None of these look like my subject. Okay, I found one. This one looks like my subject. This is the same type of house. So I'm gonna look at not really updated, but so this one was on the market for 169, was on the market for 54 days. Wow. Sold for 165, conventional. Okay. And this was in February, so this is kind of like, and this was done by OfferPad. Of course it is. You know what, just for fun while we're on here, let's see if there's any other. No, I was gonna say, I wonder what OfferPad bought it for, or what. Oh, you know what, let's just do this just for fun, guys, just for fun. This is extra credit. Okay, so interesting. Let me make sure you're still seeing this. Yes, you are. Interesting. Look at this. This is so crazy. So, wow, look at this. So in 1994, somebody bought this for $52,000. And then 2017, someone bought it for $21,000. So this was the owner, and then the owner sold it to Joanne Gable for $21,000. Wow. Then Joanne Gable, last year, guys, Joanne Gable sold it to OfferPad for $130,000. Okay. And then OfferPad held it. Those are those vacant properties everybody's talking about. OfferPad held it for, you know, what? Not even 6 months, really. Because they put it on the market in February, and they made, you know, they upsold it for $30,000, which with closing costs and everything, they really didn't make much money, OfferPad. And I'm not sure if they had to do anything to doll it up, you know, but mortgage history. Yeah. Interesting. Real estate, you know, like so funny, like how it could go from 52 to 21, then 130, 165. So that's extra credit, guys, extra credit. I'm a real estate nerd and I like to look at all this stuff. So let's get back to business. So this one sold for 165. So this is a good comp for us. Let's do something else. This was just a prospecting call that I had, that just inquiring about selling, but let's look it up on Zillow. So Zillow says it's a 3-bedroom. Let me make sure you're still seeing this. Okay, you're still seeing it. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square feet, and Zillow says it's worth 164. If Zillow says it, my job is done. Yeah, right, guys. Do not depend on Zillow. Are you crazy? Sometimes Zillow is accurate in these neighborhoods because, you know, a townhouse, it's very cookie cutter. And basically Zillow's just taking this 165 and now flipping it onto our house. So anyways, it's good to know, but ours is a 3-bedroom. This was a 3-bedroom too. So this is actually a pretty accurate assessment, but for some reason it says in the remarks, it says 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So who knows, okay? But the thing is that these other sales, okay, are ranging. So let's do, so the highest sale in there was 190, and It was a 3-bedroom, a little bit bigger than what Zillow is saying our house is. Doesn't look like it's much to write home about. All original. Yeah, wow. So this sold for $190. How about it? Wow, nobody's putting in any work in these things. All original, look at this. All of these, all original. It's about time some people start putting some work in. So this is interesting because this is 165 and seems like a much bigger house than these little units. Oof, look at that carpet. Oh my gosh. Do you see this? They got cinder blocks on their bed. Oh, poor people. Oh, air mattresses. Let's see this. This has been on the market. It's active and it's been on the market for 54 days. I know why, don't you? It doesn't show well. It does not show well. Tenant home occupied, income producing property, 2.5 bath, 900. It's not enough rent. For 163, it's not enough rent. That's why this is sitting. So this would not be a good comp. If you have an owner occupied property that is in good shape, like let's see this next one. I think this was an owner occupied because all these look like rentals to me. Nobody took care of these things. We got newer floors, new countertops, still with the carpet. Let me tell you, Jacksonville has a lot of carpet. I've never seen so much carpet in my life. I didn't even know people still used carpet. I've seen so much carpet in Jacksonville. It's unbelievable. This one doesn't look too much better. Yeah. All right, this one is pending. And there's only one picture. This one I think is like the style, but it looks like a villa. Carpet. Jeez. Nobody's doing updates and everybody has carpet. What is that? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, now that we see kind of the demographic of the neighborhood, now there's a couple of things I'm gonna tell you here. There is enough sales in this little neighborhood that I have pulled up here. I'm not gonna go outside of the neighborhood, okay? Now, if I were to pull up this little neighborhood and I had one sale, then I'm gonna have to go out of the neighborhood and I'm gonna have to look for other sales. But I'm not gonna go out of the neighborhood on this one because I have 10 records. So I'm not gonna go out of the neighborhood. Let me see what happens when I put in 3-bedroom because we didn't have that in there before. Let me put 3-bedroom. Okay, so 4 sales, 4 3-bedroom sales. And it was 190, 182, 172, and 165, okay? Now, let's see when these close, because the one that was exactly like the unit I'm looking at, it closed in February. So let's see if these had closed. Yeah, this was in June, so that makes more sense. The one that closed for, and look, this one was listed. Who came up with this price? Oh my gosh. It was listed for 188,8888. Like, who came up with this price? Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Who on planet Earth would say my house, your listing, I'm gonna list your house at $188,888 and we're not taking a penny less, okay? That is hilarious. Gosh, you know? So anyways, they ended up going over in June. This just closed. Yeah, this is a good sale. It just closed. And it was an FHA, and it closed for $190. But it does say here that the seller gave back $9,500, which I haven't seen that, guys. Let me tell you, there has not been any seller concessions, but it looks like we're gonna start seeing seller concessions. But it does say here they did receive multiple offers, So this went pending in May when things were still real hot and heavy. But something must have came up with the roof or something like that. Well, it says roof was replaced in 2016. So interesting. Well, those are the things you don't know, but we could know by calling the realtor. We could do that and call the realtor and find out why they gave that credit. And you always want to be that realtor that kind of like goes above and beyond. But for time's sake in this video, we've already gone 20 minutes. I'm not going to call the realtor, but we could do that on another day. So anyway, so this one sold at $190 in this month, just closed. And this one closed in March for $182. And why does it keep giving me this? This one closed in January. Oh no, in March. In March it closed. And this one we already looked it up. So let's go back to this list. And so this one says it's 1,100 square feet. Yeah, I think this was a 2-bedroom because that's something we have to take into consideration. But the one, according to Zillow, this is 1,392 square feet. So it would be more comparable to the 3 bedrooms, you know? So this is like a 200 square feet difference than ours. With the 3 bedrooms. So, you know, based on this, without me seeing the property, what I would recommend for the seller is I would say until I view the property, like my price opinion would be between 175 and 200. If it was, you know, depending on the condition and depending on what I'm seeing, this would be, you know, because this one sold at 190, and I mean, it's nothing to write home about at all, you know. So it just depends, you know, when I get there and I see it. But I would go for this house. I'm gonna send these comps to the seller and give them my opinion that it would be anywhere between like 175 and 200 depending on the condition. I think is a pretty safe range. And that would be, you know, my plan until I go over there. But for the purpose of this video was just really to kind of show you some main things, which are when you're doing the research, you look up the address physically where it is. Don't just look at a broad thing. You need to zero it down and go to that specific neighborhood. If there's no sales in that neighborhood, then we're gonna go out. But I showed you here, when you look on this map, you know, you can see, for the most part, you can see what neighborhood is what, you know, like you see that these streets don't connect over here. Okay. So you want to just pretend like this was you in the car and you were driving, you know, and you're in this neighborhood. And if you notice all of the listings that we looked at, if you notice, they're all in Lexington Square. See, Lexington Square. Oh, look, this was Ortega Farms. Excuse me. Hold on a second. Lexington Square. Lexington. So this one said Ortega. Let me see where this one is. I mean, I don't know what is the huge difference about being right here. you know? So, but the point of the story is you get the address, you zoom into that one specific neighborhood, okay? You go back 6 months and you see what's active, what's sold, what's pending. And then from there, you narrow it down to then your bedroom count. And then from there, you take an analysis and you say, okay, all of these, this is basically what has sold. This is the highest, this is the lowest, you know? Now, if my comp had, you know, updated kitchens or something like that, but we'll do that on another video because that's not the situation. Literally, I just spoke to somebody, they're considering selling the property. That's all we've gotten to. I'm not doing a full-blown report here. I'm doing an analysis of what I believe that it would sell for. So if you were an investor and you were calling me and saying, Carolyn, I'm thinking about buying this property, I'm going to tell you that it's pretty much the value is somewhere between 175 and 199. If you are an investor, I'm going to push you to that 175, keep you on the lower end of the spectrum. But if it's a home seller, that's what I'm going to tell is between the value your property is worth between 175 and why am I not saying 165 when there's a 165 here? Because 165 really doesn't exist for me. If I did the comps and it came in at 165, I'm going to list your house at 175. I'm never going to list a house at 165. I'm never going to list a house at $888, okay? That is hilarious, okay? Never comp a property like that. So I hope this was helpful. Hope that this kind of outlined a good way to search for comps. And we can do another video where we go more deeper. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go see this house in real life. And then I'm going to give the guy the real comp and the real everything. Hopefully I get the listing and I can actually take you on the journey with me with this particular property. But for now, this serves the purpose. Look at the neighborhood, look at the activity, what's going on, and then we go from there. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed this. See you on the next one.